Hi to everyone. Welcome to Point of View in the year 2026. It is such a wonderful time of the day, the year. We are in a new year, 2026. I know you're already aware of it, but I just want to reiterate that God has blessed us to live to see another day. Hallelujah. Happy New Year. Hi. I'm so happy that you're here with me today. Today, I'm going to talk about New Year resolutions. So many of us have done New Year resolutions. I stopped doing that. I'm not doing New Year resolutions. I just try to strive every day to be a better person, do the things that need to be done, that should be done for myself and as many others as I possibly can. So I am going to go into that, and I'm thanking God for everything that He's blessed us with. Dear God, as I sit before you to speak, I pray to you that my soul you will keep. And if I should die before I finish, I pray to you, dear God, in the name of Jesus, that any outstanding sins will be forgiven. Amen. Just so thankful, because God has blessed all of us to live to enter into another calendar year, the year 2026. Oh my goodness, it's such a wonderful feeling, and to be in our right mind, clothed. And you see me doing this, you know how I am. Trying to make sure everything is good. And I am just thankful because of who He is. And New Year resolutions, how to keep them. We're going to talk about that. And I have some information I have looked up. I have one I think I haven't been in before, one site that I haven't been on before. But I am just grateful because I am allowed this privilege by the blessings of God to be able to be live on the World Wide Web, and to be able, I got this shirt from my cousin Tasha, and to be able to come to you and be able to relay to you things that are, well, I would say relevant things, are very important to us. Information that just helps us along the way. Helps us along the way. And I don't know why this is it's not. Oh, maybe if I pull my sleeves, it'll stretch out some. I think it did. Did it? Okay. All right. Now let's get into where we're going today. This is New Year. I'm casual, of course, today. I'm just thankful. Okay, now let's get into the information that I have looked for. This is in, let me see, I think this is Vogue, Vogue, yes, Vogue.com. And then I have one that's in Finance Buzz, financebuzz.com. So this is very interesting to me, and talking about the New Year resolutions and keeping them, how to make them work for you in your favor. And if you're going to do resolutions, if you're going to do promises to improve yourself and to do certain things that will help you and others along the way. Resolutions, we call them. Some people might not call them resolutions. Whatever you title them, whatever you title them to be, that's fine and dandy. So we're going to go here. The New York Times, uh, ghosted, and she said ghosted by her husband, by Lauren. Let me let me get this. Lauren Metchling and Christina Perez, December 27th, 2025. December 27th, 2025. How to make New Year's resolutions that stick. How to make New Year's resolutions that stick. So they have some information for us, and I'm going to relay it to you. Okay? Anyone who fantasizes about the new and improved version of themselves that awaits on the other side of the ball drop can relate to the special blend of optimism and self criticism that the new year often holds. Because many of us take what inventory, and like me, I just say I'm taking all that old junk, that emotional junk, that mental junk, all of that stuff to the mental, emotional junkyard and dumping it there and leaving it, never for it to return to me. Many of us will want to press reset with the resolution, or more likely, several. If only the numbers were better in our favor. British psychology professor Richard Wiseman tracked over 3,000 people who committed to a variety of resolutions, from going to the gym to drinking less. At the end of the year, listen to this, after 3,000 people being studied and followed and tracked, at the end of the year, only 12% of the group had stuck with their program. A similar study out of the University of Scranton saw slightly better numbers with a whopping 19% success rate. 12 and 19% out of 3,000 people. So that is some progress, but is not as good as it could be, okay? Not as good as it could be. But even if your own track record had been similarly spotty, that doesn't mean you can't try. And that is the key. Just because you might not have gotten as far as you wanted to and accomplished all of the goals that you wanted to, maybe not half, maybe not one fourth, it doesn't mean that you can't. Emphasizing that, okay? Self improvement is a lifelong process, and it doesn't have to be filled with self criticism, self flagellation, and shame. It just doesn't have to be, okay? Below experts, we're going to get into that. The experts share some tips on how to make New Year's resolutions that have a better chance of sticking without running yourself through the grinder. So they're going to give us some suggestions of ones that we can probably stick with, that we should be able to stick with. But of course, the thing is that we have to pick and choose, okay? We have to pick and choose. As Maya Angelou so famously said, do the best you can until you know better. Then, when you know better, do better. How about that? I want to repeat that. This is a saying from Maya Angelou. Do the best you can until you know better. Then, when you know better, do better. You can't ask any more than that, can we? So, the next subtopic here is what makes a good New Year's resolution. Hi, thank you so much for being here. Happy New Year to you. 2026, we are here by the grace of God. Oh my goodness. It's best to keep your goals realistic, okay? So this subtopic is it's a question, what makes a good New Year's resolution? It's best to keep your goals realistic. That is a fact. It's best to keep your goals realistic. Most people struggle with resolutions because they're often too broad, overly ambitious, or disconnected from daily life. Those are three really sound reasons there. Explains integrative psychotherapist Jenny Mollum of New York Counseling. Real change isn't about flipping a switch. It's about building a foundation. This is what she said. Jenny Mollum, Mahlum. She's of New York Counseling, okay? And she said the real change isn't about flipping a switch, it's about building a foundation. So we are going into this year, this first day of the year. We are going on with our learning, with our reminders. Some things we know we're being reminded of. It's just really a good thing, and I am so happy about this. Oh, and I just thank the Lord. I had my second surgery yesterday, and I am grateful, grateful, grateful that God blessed me. Any surgery, whether it's the eye, finger, foot, toe, whatever it is, that is major to me. And I am so thankful that God has blessed me through it. He's blessing the healing process, and I am just so, so grateful. So grateful. So, with that in mind, okay, the doctor, the counselor, the psychotherapist recommends making like Bill Murray or in What About Bob. I think that's the movie that I was trying to think of the other day. That's one of my favorite movies. What About Bob? And focusing on baby steps. So, with that in mind, let me go back to what we need to keep in mind. Let me go there. Okay, Jenny Mollum of New York Counseling said real change isn't about flipping a switch, it's about building a foundation. And then we go on down with that in mind. She recommends making like Bill Murray in What About Bob and focusing on baby steps instead of resolving to work out every day. Make a goal to walk into the gym and spend just 2 minutes there. Listen to this. Instead, she said, focus on baby steps. She said, instead of resolving to work out every day, make a goal to walk into the gym and spend just 2 minutes there. She said, or start by walking up one extra flight of stairs. She said, though these actions may seem tiny, they are achievable, consistent, and create momentum. Once you've built the habit, you can gradually increase the effort. Starting small and sustainable is how you create long term change without burning out. I like this. I like this. Blessedly, people seem to be embracing more sustainable micro resolutions over big, high pressure goals as of late. So they're choosing to take it a step at a time instead of setting those big goals and those, things and several goals and then never achieve half of them. Sometimes not a fourth of them. So she's saying, blessedly, people seem to be embracing more sustainable micro resolutions over big, high pressure goals as of late. So, according to a recent study of 2,000 people by Headway, 42% say They don't have the mental space to make major life changes anyway. So instead, they're making simpler New Year's resolutions like slowing down, that's 68%, putting less pressure on themselves, 38%, and just enjoying life, 29%. That works for me. How about you? Does that work for you also? People are not losing ambition, okay? People aren't losing ambition. They're finally being realistic about what a healthy life is, explains Thalia Maria Turicus, certified health coach and burnout prevention expert at Headway. Don't we have people for everything? People for burnout, people for all kinds of other happenings in our lives, all kinds of other problems to help us with solutions and all of that. I never heard of a person, but of course, psychotherapists, psychologists, uh, psychoanalysts, doctors, all those people, and even just the lay people, the Christian counselors, and people, all of us, all over, we have a way to deal, and most of it comes with dealing with burnout prevention. But this lady, Thalia Maria Turikis, is a certified health coach and burnout prevention expert at Headway. She's a years of overworking, burnout, constant financial stress, and nonstop digital noise have taken a toll on the current state of things. Smaller, sustainable goals compound over the long run, which aligns better with keeping yourself emotionally stable. And that is so true. Have you ever been to the point where you needed something, you needed to do things, and you just didn't know how it was going to be done? Whatever it is, whatever it was, you know you've been in a stressful situation at one time or another. Doesn't feel good, not at all. How many resolutions should you set? Great question. How many resolutions should you set? This also applies to the number of resolutions you set, okay? Opt for 3 to 5 resolutions. Turikis suggests, okay? The fewer, the better. And that makes sense, doesn't it? Keeping your list of resolutions short and sweet will help you stay consistent and avoid burnout. I repeat, keeping your list of resolutions short and sweet will help you stay consistent and avoid burnout. But when you remember that each goal requires small daily actions, even a short list can represent a meaningful commitment, Tarikis says. Even a short list can represent a meaningful commitment. Oh, this is so good. I'm enjoying this. So, speaking of lists, it's also a good idea to actually write one out. You know, we try to keep them in our head sometimes, but actually writing them out, like me, I write every single day. Okay. And hey, I'm doing really good now since I got my eyes worked on. Thank you, God. Handwriting activates specific parts of the brain, making it easier to recognize our intention, says Tarikas. It also encourages accountability and helps to change self perception. When we write our plans and check off what we have accomplished, we receive additional satisfaction from what we have done, which feels like a buy one, get one free deal. Satisfaction, it makes you feel so good when you accomplish a goal. Oh, yes, I feel good about it. Okay, know your why. Know your why is the next section. No matter how big or small the resolution, it's bound to fall through the cracks unless you work out a compelling case for making it in the first place. In other words, it is imperative that you have a why, says Liz Moody, personal growth expert and host of the Liz Moody podcast. Okay, that's Liz Moody. She has a podcast. Liz is the first name, Moody, second name. She has a podcast, okay? So she's a personal growth expert and she's a host of the Liz Moody podcast. She said, I like to think about how I could be a different person next year than I was last year, and I'll identify the broader impact that my resolution might have. For example, a vow to eat more vegetables could result in more energy and cleaner skin. On an an exercise based resolution could help lessen anxiety and sleep issues. Okay. A lot of people say, I want to lose weight, but they don't have a reason except that society tells them to lose weight. It's hard to stick with something if it's based on societal messaging but not tapping into deeper motivations, Moody says. So ask yourself, why am I doing this? Ask yourself, why am I doing this? So many of us have done things, and many are doing things because somebody else put it in their minds and told them you should be doing this or you should be doing that, or they have been around these people so long and there have been, what is it, slight criticism and all this kind of stuff and examples and of you should do this, you should do that. Sometimes they don't say anything, but they act it out in everyday communication with you. However often you're communicating and you're doing things for reasons not your own, but to please other people. So ask yourself, why am I doing this? And if you can't find the answer, maybe let it go. Doing things for purely aesthetic reasons tends not to work. People love us regardless of our abs, she says. But if you can figure out how resolution will make you feel, okay, now that is a powerful motivator. Oh my goodness. Next section, try values. Thank you for being here with me on this New Year day. I am so happy to be here. I'm so, so happy to be here. The year 2026. Hallelujah. I am grateful, grateful, grateful. Similarly, what we're going to do here in this section is try values, not goals. Try values, not goals. Okay? And I'm in Vogue.com. Similarly, our resolutions have a better chance of sticking if we set them to reflect our moral values, says Marva Ahab, who's a PhD, a psychology professor at Cal State University, Long Beach. It's been a year of moral injury, and finding something meaningful is the best thing that you can do to feel better. And that's for real. And this is what she's saying to us. A distinction she likes to make is the difference between being purposeful and being meaningful, defining the better, or excuse me, defining the latter as anything relating to our inner values. Instead of focusing on goals, pick your top three values. And no matter how low the world gets you, commit to never compromising. And that is my life. That's how I live, never compromising. No matter how bad things get, never compromise. Never give up and give in to your moral values. Don't give up. Don't sway from them. You have moral values. You're happy, proud of yourself inwardly and outwardly, psychologically, mentally, physically. Don't ever compromise and give up your values. Okay? Don't do it. Your good moral values. All right? Don't do it. Don't do it. Values are easier to keep than goals, she says. A diet is a goal, and if you don't keep it, then you say, I ruined it, forget it. But when you commit to being, say, genuine or exercising gratitude, there we go, gratitude, then you're more likely to go the course. The benefits outshine those of any ab workout routine. Life is a series of big tests and small tests, and if you don't veer from your original value, you'll be more comfortable in your skin. In your skin, emphasizing your. Okay? Oh, I like this. Next, tune into your intuition. Tune into your intuition. We talked about intuition. 1:41 p.m. Device locked. We talked System about UI, that a while back. You can go back and find January that. 1st. I'm sure you can find it on my YouTube page. Okay. Tune into your intuition. Screen off. We're talking about how to make the New Year resolutions work. Okay? We're bound to drop the ball when we commit to things that run against our true desires, says Ellen Vora, MD, a psychiatrist and author of The Anatomy of Anxiety. If we hone our ability to listen to our intuition and hear what our bodies need most, she says, we might not even need to make hardcore resolutions anymore. Our society has us bouncing between self flagellation and self care in a way that drives us crazy. But there is a middle ground. Our bodies know what they need at any given moment, she says. Oh, that is so true. Deep down, she said, I know if I crave spending time in nature or hanging out with my daughter or eating something nourishing. We know it. Our bodies know what we need, even our minds. Okay? Intuition. For those of us who are not yet skilled at tuning into the message from within, She suggests incorporating the idea of listening to ourselves in our resolutions. Instead of, I'm going to exercise every day, what if we said, I'm going to move when I need to move, and I'm going to rest when I need to rest? Our bodies really know best. Oh, this is so good. I had no idea I was getting into something this super. I always get good. Now, it's always good. But for New Year Day, oh my goodness. This is wonderful. Don't go it alone. We talk about having what is it, our partners to encourage us and go along with us if we want them. 'Cause it'll help them too if they need it. Yeah. So don't go it alone. To make all this easier, J. Van Bavel, a professor of psychology at NYU and author of Power of Us, says that it's also essential to tap into the power of community. Don't we talk about it? Oh, yes, we do. On Point of View with me, Shirley Polk, we talk about these things. Anxiety and depression are on the rise. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, my God. I pray every day for all of us. There's so much anxiety and pressure and depression. My goodness, they are on the rise. And we're experiencing a loneliness epidemic, he explains. Oh, my. America has always been the most individualistic society on earth, and the pandemic and technology have put this truth on steroids. God, this is good. A lack of community or even a social calendar that is, what is it, chock a block with commitments but devoid of longer periods of hang time, is directly connected to our modern ailments. And that's chock a block. That word I've never heard before. Chock a block. Oh my goodness. Okay. Social connection, he promises, is the path to a better chance of success. He recommends joining a running group, finding a dependable gym buddy, or if you're a writer like him, signing up for a writer's group. His group of 5 meets for lunch once a month and makes a point to share their goals for the next few weeks. I'll say I plan to outline the intro of this paper or I'll apply for that grant. He says, you have something to work toward because you know you're being held to account. And you're killing 2 birds with one stone, since social connection is intrinsically rewarding. Oh, yes. Hey, next, focus on health, not dieting. Focus on health, not dieting. Starvation diets or even fad diets, such as the fat heavy keto diet, are not your friend, as they tend to whittle away your muscle mass and cause inflammation, according to Stephen Gundry, MD, medical director of the International Heart and Lung Institute in Palm Springs. I did the keto diet one year for a few weeks and it was working, but my daughter said to me, Mama, it's eating your muscle. Even though it was working, I was losing the weight. But she said, Mom, it's eating your muscle. So eventually I let it alone. I'm not telling anybody, hey, this is me. I'm not telling you to leave it alone. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not talking against it. I'm telling you what I did, okay? The wellness guru believes that the secret to dieting is feeding your gut microbiome, which is the millions of bacteria, viruses, and fungi that inhabit your intestinal tract and bear huge impact on your weight and health. He was following a low fat diet, running 30 miles a week, and going to the gym 1 hour a day. But it wasn't until he started living and caring. And let me get back to that. Let me do this. Let me go back here, okay? Because caring is nowhere in sight. He was following a low fat diet, running 30 miles a week, and going to the gym 1 hour a day. But it wasn't until he started living and eating in service to his microbiome that he lost 50 pounds in a year. Oh my, that's wonderful. Processed foods damage our microbiomes or microbiomes. That sounds better. But a host of nutrient and fiber rich foods will help us get in fighting form. There was an assumption that the microbiome likes to eat prebiotic fibers like mushrooms, artichokes, asparagus, and sweet potatoes, all of which have soluble fiber. But there's a punchline, he says. You can eat all the soluble fiber in the world, but if you don't also eat fermented foods like yogurt or kefir or kombucha or vinegar, you're not finding or feeding your microbiome the right combination, and you won't uh, get the right message, or you won't sin. There's now that's not me. There's a typo here. Okay, it's not me. All right, now let me go. So if you don't eat the fermented foods like yogurt or kefir or kombucha or vinegar, you're not feeding your microbiome the right combination, and you won't scent the right messages should be sent the right messages to your brain that say you don't need to keep looking for more food. Okay, aren't we learning some stuff today? Besides, prioritizing your health means you're more likely to create habits that stick. Besides, prioritizing your health means you're more likely to create habits that stick. Diets rarely produce results in the long run, but healthy eating habits do, Tarika says. So instead of cutting out foods you enjoy, focus on balance and being mindful of how and what you eat. Next, examine your environment. Examine your environment. When, when it comes to achieving your goals or our goals, A positive attitude can make all the difference. Yet, we often neglect to consider the impact our homes have on our mindsets. Subconsciously, our nervous system responds to our environment, explains Irvin Orunkeck, okay? An interior designer who is certified in neuroaesthetics, a discipline that explores how our bodies and brains respond to spaces. Your home should not only trigger feelings of happiness and strength, but also serve you in completing your daily routines. So she's a neuro aesthetics, okay? She's certified in neuro aesthetics. Wanted to get that word right, okay? So get real with yourself about how your space contributes to a sense of ease. Would holding uh, adding a bench in the hallway encourage you to put on your running shoes? Would amping up the wattage in your deck lamp help improve your focus, or in your desk lamp? Changing something little can have the biggest shift. My goodness. Orukak said, it's Orunkeck says, the point is to be deliberate in identifying how you want to think and feel, and then thoughtfully set up your space to strengthen your mind and nervous system. Goals are easier to achieve without distraction, obstacles, or added steps. Remember, it's all about playing the long game. Don't expect instant results. Our brains are wired to prioritize what feels good right now, which is why we often drift back to behaviors that offer immediate gratification, even when we consciously value long term well being. Tarika says, if you don't fully achieve every goal by the end of the year, that doesn't mean you failed. I want to say that again. If you don't, this is what Tarika says, okay? Tarikis. If you don't fully achieve every goal by the end of the year, that doesn't mean you failed. Progress is still progress, and something done imperfectly is always more powerful than something never started. Oh my goodness, I have to repeat that. It's almost time to sign off, but I am just so happy to be here. I am so happy to be here on this New Year Day. If you don't fully achieve every goal by the end of the year, that doesn't mean you failed. Progress is still progress, and something done imperfectly is always more powerful than something never started. Just remember that. Encourage yourself. Be encouraged. So have a beauty or wellness trend you're curious about. Vogue has that information for you too. So let's go on and let me finish up for this. I am so happy, happy, happy. Vogue.com's contributing editor writes about living, wellness, culture, and style, and she's based in Los Angeles. Thank you so much for being here with me. I have enjoyed being here on this New Year Day in my casual, but I am just so happy to be here with you and have you here with me. Okay? It's wonderful, wonderful. It's 2026, and God has blessed us to be here. And I am grateful, grateful, grateful. Grateful, grateful, grateful. Love you so much. God willing, join me next week. Well, no, Saturday night and Sunday morning. Saturday night, 7:39 p.m. Greater Gospel Temple, Church of Praise and Worship and Inspiration of God Ministries. Sunday morning, Greater Gospel Temple and Inspiration of God Ministries. At 7 o'clock a.m. on Sunday morning, 7:39 p.m. on Saturday evening, and then we'll start the week again with Monday morning 5 minutes of prayer at 7 a.m. Uh, Tuesday and Thursday, Point of View with Miss Shirley Polk at 1 p.m. This is all Central Standard Time. On Friday is the Mother's Board with myself and Dr. J.J. McAllister. On Wednesdays, it's from the Biblical Files of Dr. Mack. I love you so much. Enjoy the remainder of your January 1st, 2026. Thank you. I love the Lord, He heard my cry and pitied every groan. Long as I live and troubles rise, I'll hasten to His throne.